Deban!
William.
Hey! It is the Tuesday after the Saturday that was the grand final of Eurovision 2016. I don't know about you, but I am exhausted.
Oh, I'm just springing to life, ready for another rollout.
You know, after 2 weeks of about 3 hours of sleep a night, I came home and I crashed hard. The last night of Eurovision, I didn't want to pay for a hotel, so me and my roommate, we went to Euro Club, we had an early flight, we stayed out all night. I came home, but I couldn't go to sleep, so I was up for 36 hours, dead. In any event, my head is now clear.
And your roommate is now on a plane to Buenos Aires.
Yeah, he's out of here. It's like sayonara, or whatever they say in Spanish. In any event, we should talk about our personal highlights. Are you ready?
Let's do this!
Why don't you kick us off with your favorite personal highlight of Eurovision 2016?
William, I have to say, the voting segment of the grand final was a killer. I was literally on the edge of my seat the whole time. I mean, it was bananas.
It was so cool because during the jury voting segment, Australia was just killing it. Boom, 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 boom. And she had emerged as one of our big favorites running up to the final. And to see her winning, it was quite touching. The Australian girl born in Korea, about to slay the pack and by a huge margin. And it seemed like a done deal, didn't it? There was that sense in the room of, wow, Australia has come from the outside and they've taken this. But then it gets a little tricky.
And it wasn't just about Australia, it was also about who was going to kind of make up the final block of the top 10, and that was shifting the whole time. I couldn't even keep up with it. It was just shape-shifting so hard. Poland, who you thought was going to be dead last, suddenly moved into the top 10.
Yeah. The final 4 countries to have their televote revealed, of course, were Poland, Russia, Ukraine, Australia. And at that point, it was really anyone's game. I mean, we knew Poland.
Even Bulgaria at some point was looking like it could have taken. I mean, it was just
unclear. It was bananas. We have not a banana. We have the video. Wiwiblogger Tobias actually filmed us waiting for the final points to come in. And he starts rolling after they've announced Dami hasn't won, after they've said that Poland hasn't won, and it's down to Russia and Ukraine. And you can see our reaction, actually. I completely lose it. And I was proud of myself. I did the math. I was sitting there like, ooh, calculating. And so I noticed it before everyone, and I go bananas. I get on a chair, I'm screaming, Jamala! Jamala! And it was really sincere. The thing is, I liked all of those 4 countries in the top 4. Poland, as you know, everybody hated it, but I loved it.
You hated it at first.
At first, when you hear him live, it's touching, and he's a lovely person. I was so team Poland. But in any event, I'm sitting there, and it's down to it's down to Russia and Ukraine. I like both of them. You know this. I was fan-wanking over both of them all season. And so some people on YouTube have been like, oh, you're such a snake. You suddenly don't care about Dami Im. It's like, no, it's not that I don't like Dami Im.
The thing is, when you are in a bubble like we are, it is very difficult to have one favorite. And when we vote, actually we cast about 7 to 9 votes. We can't just vote for one. It's impossible.
Because you know them personally, you're invested in their success. You
know the backstory, the narrative. You know the composers behind the song. I mean, Dora Medalia with Israel.
Lovely guy.
Yeah, you know that. You know the dancers. You know the choreographers. You know everything stripped down. You even hear the early versions. I mean, you sat on the Azeri panel, so you knew all the songs they chose in Azerbaijan, Latvia as well. You know, I mean, the whole Maltese changing song. You know so much that to have just one
is impossible. And also, it's not you're happy that someone's losing, you're happy that someone's winning and their life is about to change. And in that moment, can I just tell you, this is the culmination of 2 weeks of no sleep, of constantly monitoring this, but also of 6 months of traveling Tel Aviv, Amsterdam, London, it goes on and on and on. And so it's not even, in some ways it's selfish, it's a release. It's a cathartic release because all of this stuff you've been following and working on is finally ending. And I was incredibly emotional, not just for her, but also for us. And you can see us at the table, we kind of melt and die. We did an interview with NDR afterwards and we looked dead. And physically we were dead.
Yeah.
But in any event, in that video you see me and I'm clutching one of my bloggers like, oh my god, because it was so tense and so exciting.
And speaking of Jamala, I remember when you interviewed her in the room and I was the cameraman for it. And there were moments when we had to pause just because it was just so emotional. I mean, the whole thing was just...
My eyes were wet. And I cried every time when I seen it.
I think the quote was, I said, Jamala, you cry every time you sing. It must
And she
be
said
so,
5 times.
Yeah, it must be so exhausting. And she said, I rehearsed this 5 times today. I'm a little tired. And it's just like, girl, get a nap. You deserve it. It was so touching, so sweet. So for her to come out, because the bookies had been downgrading her. Like she had been 6th or 7th favorite. They were pushing her down, and then suddenly she was back up. It was really touching to see her come through. And the thing is, I loved Sergei Lazarev. I mean, you know this for a fact. Like, love him. Love this song.
He's a great guy.
He's
Actually,
great.
that has to be another highlight of him at the
fantastic.
Wiwi Jam.
Oh, speaking of the Wiwi Jam, that is a highlight. Do tell.
So the Wiwi Jam was a party that we ran on May the 11th. And it was just an endless lineup of stars, both old and new,
Gabriella
both Eurovision,
Shikova.
who made history by being the first Czech act ever to qualify for the grand final. And she tore it up at the Wiwi Jam, and she sang her song, I Stand, and Highway to Hell.
So good.
Oh, she killed it.
Sergey killed it. He shows up early in the afternoon to do a
Oh,
sound check.
sound check.
Consummate professional, does a sound check.
Did we record the sound
We
check?
have bits of it, and there's this video actually where he sings Take It Off, and then he says, oh, tonight I'm not going to sing Take It Off, that was just for you now, but he was teasing us because he did sing it in the evening, but on the video you hear us going, oh man, he's not going to sing it. He was just so lovely. Who else was there?
Oh, who wasn't there?
Amir was there.
Oh, Amir was great. He performed Golden Boy.
So good.
I mean, Amir was amazing. Performed Golden Boy and then performed Sheshe. And he closed the show.
Yeah.
But he was great. But there was the whole lineup. Susie opened the show. from
Quiero ser
Golden.
tua.
She was great. Greta Salome killed it.
Oh.
She had live instruments on stage.
We have to say, this was the night after the first semi-final. She had been eliminated, and so I did this long introduction, called her out, and the audience was going crazy for her. They wanted to show their support, and she said, after not qualifying, this may be, qualifying would have been great, but this is probably the second best thing that could happen because everyone's pissed, and she was so open and honest about the fact that she was surprised. We were surprised. It was really lovely to see her bounce back from what must have been a shocking elimination for her.
And gave a really wonderful version of Hear Them Calling without all the gimmicks and everything. Just stood in, just delivered a very stirring performance.
I just loved Wiwi Jam. I also loved meeting some of our readers. It was so nice to finally see people in the flesh and to hear their nice comments on Twitter or Instagram. Oh, but Sergey, sorry. We have to talk about Sergey. I was so nervous introducing him. I go hoarse. And I was like, he is the only one. He is Sergei Lazarev. And then I'm running towards him and watching the video, people were making gifs. It's almost like I was going for his mouth because he has to go like this to avoid making lip contact. Sorry about it. But he's just, honestly, he's such a gentleman. He's such a good performer. I want to see him back at Eurovision. I think if he came back next year, he'd win.
Oh, he's great. But we have to talk about the world exclusives as well, from Lisa Ajax, who debuted her new single there.
Yeah, she did.
Isa also debuted her new single. So these are Melody Festival and Greats who were there.
I couldn't believe it. It was so nice of them.
Maya Cutes as well was there.
Krista Siegfried was
Krista was amazing.
She killed it. You know what? You can watch all these performance videos on our YouTube channel.
She was completely amazing. Alex Fanai,
he was
came
great.
down. Eurovision legend. Robin Bengtsson.
Robin Bengtsson showed up. He was with Lisa Ajax. They have the same record label, Capitol Records. And he was like, hey, I've got my sound. I'm here. Why don't I sing too? We're like, why don't ya?
Why not?
It was amazing.
Iveta Mukuchyan. She turned up with a baseball cap, a leather jacket, a pair of jeans, and she was just tote stylish. And she performed the best version of Love Way.
It was like an experimental version of an experimental song. She just kills it. She looked great on the red carpet. The Hungry Hearts.
Oh my god!
This is
How
so
could I?
funny.
Oh my god!
They stayed the whole night dancing. They had on their funky helmets, their studded shirts. My favorite picture of Eurovision 2016 that someone else took is when I'm backstage and I could hear them saying something on stage like, I want your pussy in my face. And I was like, wait, they're not saying that. And then someone told me, yes, they are talking about lesbian sexy things. And my mouth just dropped. I was so shocked, and yet it was so fabulous because they are unpredictable.
And they can party. I mean, completely non-stop.
So much fun.
Honestly, these people just turned
They
it
kill
up.
it. I'm sure we're forgetting people, but we should move on to another highlight. And I think it's going to be appearing on Studio Eurovision.
With Gina Girawi.
So she kills it. This was SVT's pre-show. So
and we were only meant to be there for just one episode.
It comes on from 8 to 9 p.m. And so we had like a 3-minute segment where we would kind of preview the show.
4 minutes.
Highlight 4 minutes, yeah. But a lot of work goes into those 4 minutes because you have to write the script because they have to subtitle it in Swedish. So we had to have like a basic sense of what we were going to say. But we got to take all these lovely snaps with Gina. Oh my God. And the other guests. They were so nice.
Lots of guests, including Charlotte Perrelli.
Ace Wilder.
Oh yeah, Robin Bengston as
Victoria.
well. Victoria, absolutely.
Oh my God, Dami Eam.
Oh, Sergei Lazarev. Amir.
Oh, Franz.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, Polly Janova.
The list goes on.
And we had our selfie stick the whole time, but it was so nice to be in that environment. I think SVT's just really classy. They take care of you. We got to go pick out our clothes at their big
We had a
workshop.
wardrobe consultation, we had photos, we had rehearsals,
so
we had
nice.
screenshots. It was
a lot of work though, wasn't it? Do you remember the script for the grand final? How did it go? Let's try this way. You said, hey, Gina.
Hey, Gina.
Hey, Sverige, and hello to all you Eurovision princes and queens. But it was just, you get into this routine. It was so nice. I would love to do that stuff more frequently.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Sign me up. I'm ready.
Done. In any event, Deban.
Taxi.
So in the first semi-final, if you watched, there was kind of an interval between, I don't know what song, 6 and 7. It was early in the show. And they had Eurovision fans, including us, get into a taxi. And we didn't know that it was Petramida, whatever her name is, driving the taxi. It was like a big Stockholm surprise.
Are you here for the Eurovision Song Contest?
Yes!
You wouldn't be able to help me with any tickets, could you? No.
Oh, sadly, no.
Now, a lot of people have asked if it was staged. Could you please explain if it was staged?
I can't say anything. Let them. You know what? Let's not even deconstruct
it. Wasn't staged, is the point. We told we were going to be going to SVT for a meeting, and so we just assumed we're going to SVT for a meeting. And yes, there were cameras in the van, but it's a studio van, so of course there are going to be cameras in it. They weren't massive though; they were little, like. So, anyways, we're in the car.
And we're too amazed by the whole come together livery on that whole thing.
And she didn't sound like Petramida or look like Petramida from the side because you didn't see in the rearview mirror. You just saw these glasses. And it's like on TV.
And I had work to do. I was Instagramming
the whole time. You were Instagramming the whole time. It's because I figured it out after, and it's clear in the video, after 6 or 7 minutes, I figured it out. And I'm like, Petramida, I'm telling you that is Petra. And you're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, Deban, hate the phone. It was just so funny. But then when she finally revealed herself, your reaction was priceless.
I'm telling you, that is Petra. That is Petra.
Oh my god!
And what people didn't see is later in the day we got in a taxi with Charlotte Perrelli.
Yeah!
And the footage you didn't use.
Interestingly, that was the weakest footage, I thought.
Yeah,
There were so many great highlights. And
but what can they do? They have like that much time. They have to chop and choose.
I know.
It was amazing just to be included.
I know.
And I love Edward F. Sillin, the scriptwriter from Elvis and Eurovision. He's so nice and so funny. He's so funny.
He's brilliant.
Kills it.
I mean, to do a show like that, you've got to have it, and he brings it and serves it.
And he serves it hardcore because they were working non-stop around the clock. I think he was getting like 2.5 hours of sleep a night. Can you imagine how stressful that was?
Yeah.
Actually, we can because of Wiwibloggs.
We do it.
In any event, that was amazing.
You love the red carpet, William.
The red carpet is always the highlight for me of Eurovision.
Yes.
It's kind of the culmination of, you've been on this tour through Amsterdam, London, Tel Aviv, wherever, and then the stars recognize you because you've already been investing in them for so many months, and it's like, it's just the nicest feeling, and that people are really laid back, they're excited about what's coming up. We had our little team over there who I just wanted to hug. It was so sweet, because I'm getting old and jaded now, and it's so nice to be around our younger bloggers who are like, they're so enthusiastic about seeing things for the first time. It gives you life. You're like, this is why I do it, because this is love.
Well, we decided that, William and I are never together on the red carpet.
No.
We always split.
Because I can't deal with all this noise, you can't deal with all this bass, it's drama.
So it was good. So we had like, little clusters of teams around.
Clusterfuck, one might say.
And it was really good fun. I mean, there was some, I suppose that my red carpet moment was Douwe from the Netherlands when he came over, and He just looked at me and he was like, yeah, earlier on he tapped my bum after an interview.
What did he tap it with?
He's such good fun. And he just grabbed my phone and went, my milkshake brings other boys to the yard, damn right.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, damn right. It's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours, I can teach you, but I have to charge.
God,
So
is that slightly racist? Is
Oh,
he
I
calling
don't-
you Khalees?
I have no idea, but I Instagrammed it so you can see it on our channel.
God, there's so much that I love about the red carpet. I mean, at one moment we had Azerbaijan and Armenia next to each other. Do you remember? Oh, you weren't with me.
No, I wasn't with
And I was
you.
like, what's gonna happen? But it was perfectly fine. People are civil. People get along. People are not throwing shade. I mean, I loved how the BBC was coming at one point, but then France jumped in and kind of cock-blocked them. It's just, there's so much drama on the red carpet. I loved seeing Mons. My favorite interview, though, may have been Mikhail Spock. He's just so funny.
Oh, he's
so
great.
charming.
He's great.
And Iveta Mukuchyan was killing it in this low-cut dress.
Oh,
Killing it.
she is on another level.
Another level, and she gave a great reaction. She said, I asked her, what do you do at night? How do you, like, relax? And she said, the readers don't need to know everything.
Oh,
But
love that!
then she added a line like, it's always wild, or interesting. I'm like, oh, you slay.
She is
She
totally
kills
amazing.
it.
And there was one point when Anita Tarifa came out and said, where is William? I'm like,
Oh, I found her. We found each other later,
Oh,
actually.
did you?
She looked like a gorgeous Oscar statuette. This
Oh,
is my
she's
this is my favorite groupie of Eurovision. We gotta cue it. It's just, she looks like she's going to the Oscars dressed as an Oscar.
wow.
But you know what? In any event, Deban, I think my final highlight, and I've already touched on this, was just seeing our team. Because you know what? We work in this online world. We never get to have physical contact. And I don't mean that sexually. I just mean like we never see each other. And when you actually see these people you work with in the flesh, it's so heartwarming. And you realize even if you often don't get along and don't like each other online, people aren't doing work and people are throwing shade and people are sending messages behind your back, you eventually meet them and you really do love them. It's like, you know, families fight, don't they?
And you know what's really amazing? You meet a Wiwi blogger and you actually see yourself in that person. And it's just
Yes.
interesting how the recruitment actually draws on certain personalities that are so aligned to how you are. Because, you know, we all kind of think...
Open-minded.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah.
And the only thing they have that I don't have is youth.
I know, makes two of us. I feel like a saggy old queen. In any event, those are our personal highlights of Eurovision 2016. We're curious, were you on the ground in Stockholm? What were yours? And if you were at home, what were your highlights watching from afar? You can let us know here on Wiwibloggs.
Yes, scribble away, let us know. Subscribe, like.
Dislike, we're cool with that too.
We're cool.
See you later. Bye!